One guy that will not be on the All-Star team, of course, Gavin Williams, just made his first major league start of the season, and he struggled. He wasn't missing bats. I was a little surprised Stephen Vogt left him in as long as he did when he was getting in trouble there in the fourth. What do you make of his first start there, Zach?
It looked like a guy who had not pitched in a major league game in 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The velocity was good. That was encouraging. He averaged 97 on his fastball. Came out in the first inning like 98, 99. So that was good to see. What was weird was he didn't throw a single slider, and I think he threw 10 curveballs. So I think it's just not trusting the command of those pitches, but you become predictable when you're just throwing fastballs and cutters the whole time. So the important thing was like he pitched and he stayed healthy. I think he threw 74 pitches. So, build on that next time, but he's going to need to, you've got like a 3-month runway here where you're hoping he can be a guy you can hand the ball to in a playoff game.
Right.
And I think you're confident in Tanner Bybee. I think you want to be confident in Gavin Williams. I think everything is saying you should be confident in Ben Lively, except just our knowledge of his track record. So you need him to figure it out, but you have to think of it as basically he just finished spring training. And if this was start 1 for him on March 28th, you wouldn't be freaking out or making too much of it. So we shouldn't do that on July 5th either.
I agree. I thought, as you mentioned, that the velocity being where it was a major positive, and now he can build off of that. If he had gone out there and he was topping out at 92, 93, you would have been like, uh-oh, what is happening here? But he wasn't. No big league pitcher can succeed when he's not confident in throwing all his arsenal. I mean, you can't just throw fastballs down the middle and hope to beat good league hitters, big league hitters, even if it is the White Sox. And that's what happened, as you said. He had no confidence in his other pitches. I guess it'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to get there and start building up. Maybe that was part of the game plan. Maybe they said to him, hey, listen, if you're not comfortable throwing these pitches, then just do this. I don't know. That seems a little crazy in a major league game, but you never know. It's about the long haul. They have a huge lead. I'm not sure, but obviously that's something that's going to have to change no matter how hard he's throwing.
Yeah,
Mzkenzie, his velocity's fine. I mean, it's not Gavin Williams, but it's fine. But when you throw the ball right down the middle and you have no command, well, you're not going to win ever.
And you can't be predictable. If the White Sox know that it's going to be a fastball or a cutter coming, it's a lot easier to game plan around that. He's a strikeout pitcher. He had 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's because hitters, your fastball, that's great that you're throwing 97, 98. But when a hitter knows that that's coming, they can just sit on the fastball and it got hit around. So, it's interesting. He threw the slider. That was the pitch he threw second most last year, and he didn't throw it once. And I know he wanted to work on that pitch more this year too, and just making sure that like the slider and the curveball play off the fastball properly. So it's a work in progress. It's going to be a work in progress. And I think that's why he can't just be the savior. Gavin Williams' return is not your big trade acquisition. You can't play it off like that. You still need more help.
Yeah. And he'll make 2 more starts. Assuming he's fine, he'll make 2 more starts before the break. He'll pitch, I believe, the first game in Detroit on Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday? They have a day off Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
And then he'll pitch in that weekend series against Tampa before the All-Star break. Meanwhile, another pitcher, and there have not been a lot of surprise. There have been really no surprise positives for the Guardians pitching staff outside of Ben Lively. Starting rotation, right? Everything's either been worse than you thought, or in Bybee's case, just as good, I guess, as you thought. Maybe at this point a little better. But quietly here, Zach, Carlos Carrasco, in his last 3 starts, and 4 of his last 5 have pitched pretty well, but last 3 starts against Toronto, Baltimore, and the White Sox, he's gone 17 innings. He's allowed 6 runs, 4 homers, but only 3 walks, 14 hits, and 17 strikeouts. you know, we thought a month ago Carrasco would be out of this rotation at some point, but he's been better than Mzkenzie. He's been better than Logan Allen. And right now, and often enough this year, to his credit, he's given them a chance to stay in the game. He's never going to be what he was, but he's given them a chance to stay in these games, especially these last 3 starts. What do you make of it?
He's been pretty consistent, not consistently great, but
Nope.
I think you know what you're going to get from him. And I think that's the difference between him and Allen and Mzkenzie is the other two. I don't know if they're going 2 1/3 innings and giving up 7 runs, or if they're going to go 6 innings and give up 1 run.
Right.
So, if you can get 5 innings from Carrasco and he only gives up 2 or 3 runs, he'll take that. And that's what he's done. Honestly, most of the season. I mean, it was rough in April,
Yeah.
but really, like since then, I mean, he had 3 good starts in May. Well, 2.5 good starts in May, and then went on the injured list for a couple weeks. But like he's been fine for a fill-in 5th starter. I mean, the
Yeah.
expectations are low here. He's 37 years old. He hasn't had a good season in 3 years. So it's look, did anyone think he was still going to be on the roster in July
No.
when it was a nice heartwarming story in spring training that this guy was on a minor league deal with an invitation to big league camp. And, it was a cool homecoming, but you thought at most he'd be the long man in the bullpen for a little bit. And then that was it. So I don't know. He's given a little more than I expected, but I think you're right. It's in the context of how shaky the rotation's been.
Yeah.
He's been really helpful lately.